Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call the workshop Tuesday, May 28th to order. Madam Clerk,
Regular meeting.
roll call.
Yes, Madam President. Roll call for Municipal Council regular meeting, May 28, 2019 at 7 p.m. Councilman Abdelaziz.
Here.
Councilwoman Cotton. Councilman Jackson.
Present.
Councilman Kalik. Councilman McCoy. Here. Councilwoman Mims. Councilman Rivera. Councilman Velez.
Present, Madam Clerk.
Madam President.
Present. Please, as I asked before we began the meeting, I'm really going to need silence. Let the record reflect that Councilman Rivera, Councilman Kalik are in the finance meeting, and they should be coming out shortly. Did we hear from Councilwoman Cotton? Is she going?
She sent an email.
Oh, she's away? Okay, okay, very well.
There was an email.
Okay, very well.
I will
Madam
continue.
Clerk?
I'll continue. Yes, Madam President. Madam President and honorable council members, this evening we have to render the prayer our Councilwoman Lisa Mims, and she's a pastor of the New Beginnings Christian Outreach Ministries, and also to lead us in the flag salute will be John F. Kennedy High School Robotics. Please rise, everyone, for the prayer.
Please rise, everyone, for the flag salute. For the prayer and then the flag salute.
Let us pray. God, we thank you because this is the day that you have made, and so we rejoice and we are glad in it. God, we thank you for this amazing city, this city of righteousness known as Paterson, New Jersey. God, we pray that you continue to bless and prosper and succeed this city. We pray for every layer of government, our mayor, our council members. We pray for all elected officials, freeholders, all those members that touch this city. We pray for our firemen. We pray for our police. We pray for our lawyers. We pray for our judges. We pray for our workers, our teachers, our educators. We pray for all of those that come in to continue to make Paterson better. We thank you for our residents, that you continue to bless them as well. God, we thank you for the meeting on tonight. We pray that your Holy Spirit will be a part of it, that will lead and guide us into all truth. And God, we thank you in advance for what you're doing. We thank you for what you've already done. And we thank you for what you shall do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Please remain standing. John F. Kennedy Robotics Club. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing. At this time, we will now have a moment of silence for our troops and any loved ones that we've lost. You may have a seat. Madam Clerk, can you please read the statement of compliance?
Yes, Madam President. Statement of compliance with the Open Public Meetings Law 2018 to 2019, regular meeting date, May 28, 2019, time 7 p.m. Adequate notice of this meeting was compiled and disseminated in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law in the following manner. 1. The annual notice of regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council was compiled for the year 2018 to 2019 on or about July 1st, 2018. 2. A schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2018 to 2019 was duly transmitted on or about July 1st, 2018 to the North Jersey Herald News, The Record, the Arabic Voice, Italian Voice, Passaic County Pulse, Dominicana News, Crusader International, El Especial, the Paterson Press, and the City Post News, in addition to any other publication duly requesting such notices. 3. The schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2018 to 2019 was prominently posted in the lobby of City Hall first floor in the place reserved for the announcements of this type. 4. The schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2018 to 2019 was duly filed with the municipal clerk. 5. A copy of the schedule of regular meetings of the Municipal Council was mailed to any person who requested and paid the fee authorized by the Open Public Records Act. Madam President.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, at this time, I'd like to take the consent agenda.
Sorry. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda items. All matters listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the council and will be enacted by one motion. The items listed on the consent agenda are numbers 6 through 26. Any item may be removed from the consent agenda by the request of any council member, and if so removed, will be treated as a separate matter.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Abdelaziz, second by Councilwoman Mims. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on the consent agenda.
Roll call on consent agenda items 6 through 26. Councilman Abdelaziz.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilman Khalid.
Yes.
Councilman McCoy.
Yes.
Councilman Mims.
Yes.
Councilman Velez.
Please, phones, put them in silence. Councilman Velez?
My vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Rivera, we are voting on the non-consent agenda items 6 through 26. Sorry, consent agenda. Items 6 through 26, thank you. Madam President,
Yes.
the vote is 8 in favor, 1 absent. Items number 6 through 26 on the consent agenda is hereby adopted.
Give me 1 second, Madam Clerk. Madam Clerk, at this time, I'd like to take item number 29 on the non-consent agenda.
Sure, Madam President. Item number 29. Next item on the non-consent agenda is item number 29. Item number 29 reads, resolution determined that the residential units proposed by Bartley Street Housing LLC meet an existing housing need. Economic Development Resolution 19-320.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Mims, second by moved by Councilwoman Mims, second by Councilman, God, McCoy. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on item number 29.
Roll call on item number 29 for approval. Councilman Abdelaziz.
Pass.
Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilman Khalid.
Yes.
Councilman McCoy.
Yes.
Councilman Mims.
Yes.
Councilman Rivera.
Yes.
Councilman Velez.
Yes.
Councilman Abdelaziz.
Yes.
Madam President,
Yes.
The vote is 8 in favor, 1 absent. Item number 29 is hereby adopted.
Thank you. I want to welcome Councilman Morris to the chambers. I'd like to say, I mean, we miss you, okay? But I know that you're only a phone call away. I'm happy that number 29 is going forward. I'm sure that this is going to be a great project for the city of Paterson.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Indeed, it is a pleasure to be before such an esteemed body, and I understand that you're all doing not only God's work, but the people's work as well. It is a pleasure to be down in this humble chambers, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for the support of the supportive housing resolution to bring much-needed supportive housing to the city of Paterson, and we look forward to working in partnership with the city council on this initiative. And I could also see the excitement still remains in the city of Paterson. So once again, thank you for your support.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Councilman, feel free to stay, Councilman. Feel free to stay. The entertainment will continue.
Sure.
No, I do plan on staying for a while because I'm really interested in what these good people have to say because, you know, as you know, government is about hearing the people's voices, and I want to listen to their voices also.
I approve
Thank
that
you.
message.
Thank you. Wow. Madam Clerk, item number 30. Non-consent.
Yes, Madam President. Next item is item number 30. Item number 30 reads, resolution appointing Xavier C. Rodriguez as a judge of the Municipal Court of the City of Paterson, Law Resolution 19321.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Velez, second by Councilwoman Mims. Roll call on item number 30.
Roll call on item number 30 for approval. Councilman Abdelaziz.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
You know, Council President, I take my hat off to you and not reserving the time until after the public portion. And I want to move carefully here because I don't want to display any misconception of you and I, Council President and I, not being on the same page. But I tell you, there's a lot of things that come before this council that I really try to stand hard on, and these are those examples. I can't tell you how disappointed I am that, one, this person is even being presented by the administration. That's the first thing. You know, we talk about making a pledge to Paterson people. One of the things that I love to see, there's a sign there that says, "We are Paterson, look at us." This judge is what represents what Paterson does not need. To have someone who sits on the bench, who uses his authority, who has been consistently showing that he has no regard for the public in the fashion of respect, from a standpoint of respect or compassion, is not what Paterson needs. I think this is customary to the type of treatment that Pattersonians have been receiving for so many years. To see some of the recommendations, I talked to the assignment committee, and you know, there's no one within the judicial system that feels like Paterson is getting a deal out of this matter. If you look at the judge's track record, the public has spoken. They've logged onto the website, they talked about him. I've shown this council and the administration. He has a number of different derogatory remarks. He treats people like trash, and I'm not happy because I'm not waiting for the day we begin to get these complaints. I'm hoping that my position at least sends a message to this judge that he needs to treat our people with a great amount of respect and not come into the city acting as if he's the Lord over the peasants in our community, which he has shown in Passaic. He wasn't renewed in Passaic not because the mayor wants his own person. He wasn't renewed because the public wasn't happy with his performance. And it's very disappointing, especially someone from Hispanic descent, when you see a person of color, whether Hispanic or Black African American, treat their own people worse than they treat other people. This is something that I'm really not looking forward to seeing. So obviously, I'm accustomed to being the odd man out, and I understand it, and I do respect and I appreciate the Council President, your position, but I definitely want to make my voice heard on this matter. This is yet another disappointing moment for me. My vote is no, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Kalik.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I hope this judge is just and fair to everybody. And also the administration made a good decision to present himself to the council. This judge had 8 bad reviews out of 62,000 plus cases. I don't think that's a bad number. And, you know, I hope for the best, and my vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman McCoy.
I want the public to understand and everyone to understand that we have a process here in the municipal council. We do not select. It's a matter of advice and consent. We elected someone to lead us. In the campaign, I had a different position. And the people spoke as to who they wanted in an overwhelming way. You have to give someone the team that they select, and then you hold them accountable to the result. I have not seen any official, credible statements or objection to this judge and with respect to his record. And I think we can only be fair. He did present himself to the municipal council. We had an opportunity to ask him about his process, his record, and raise the concerns that we have. But at the end of the day, it is the right and the privilege of the office of mayor to assemble a team and to select and recommend municipal judges. Without having any credible objection or any basis on which to object, it is our obligation to support that choice and to hold the mayor accountable for the results of the team that he selects. And I firmly believe that. I have no objections here. I give the mayor the benefit of the doubt in assembling his team. And I do look forward to a judicial process that is fair, that is honest, that is open, and that is respectful to litigants and everyone else. In these United States, one is innocent until proven guilty, and everyone is deserving of respect and respectful treatment, and it's my high expectation that the municipal court of the city of Paterson will be no exception. My vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Mims.
And so first, to the deceased family of Judge Keegan, I give my condolences and my sympathy. This appointment tonight is to finish the term for Judge Keegan, and it's actually 1 year left on the term. I think Councilman McCoy said it best. I have nothing to add except for it is just to finish the term of Judge Keegan. And I think we, as the legislative body, we definitely have to make sure that there are checks and balances in place. I think Mr. Judge Xavier Rodriguez came before this council, did an amazing job of answering a lot of questions. Sure, there could have been many other questions, but he did a great job of doing that. And I respect him for being able to answer and be transparent. But even after this vote on tonight, whatever that may be, I'm not sure at this point, But whatever it will be, I believe that we have to continue to hold not only him accountable, but the administration accountable to make sure that there's fair and just treatment across every ethnicity in the city, whereas we have over 72. So, Madam Clerk, my vote on tonight is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Rivera?
In the prior meeting, which was the workshop meeting, we had the opportunity to question this gentleman, the judge that's being proposed at this moment, and we had the opportunity to ask any questions and address any concerns. So we did so at that time, and my vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Velez?
Thank you, Madam Clerk, Councilmen. You know, when you look at the resume of Mr. Rodriguez, he was admitted in 1987 to the New Jersey bar. Also, working 16 years at one court in Passaic, City of Passaic. That speak highly on that. Only 8 complaints. And let me tell you about that website. That website is an open website. Everyone could go there and write any statement against anybody. If I was a judge, probably would be full about more than 8 complaints. Now, probably. But that don't means that those complaints are more solid than the work that I perform. You could complain every day about me, what I do, or whatever, but my job speak by itself. So, being that experience with me, and seeing 16 years of individual working in the bench, okay, now a lot of people are gonna be happy. Frustration comes when you come in front of the judge. If you don't break the law, you will not see that frustration. If you go by the law, you're gonna see that you're not gonna visit any judge in the state of New Jersey or in the municipal council, in the municipal judge in Paterson. Now, this judge presided 62,000 cases or more. So that speaks by itself. So I have to support it no matter what, based what I have in front of me. I don't care it was the mayor that appointed him. I don't care it was the president that appointed him. I don't care if the governor appointed him. I know that he knows the quality of life that we're looking for in the city of Paterson, and he's gonna do the job diligence as he knows how to do it. My vote is yes.
Madam President?
So I think enough has been said. The only thing that I can say is that I believe our Dean of the Council said it best. You know, this is an appointment that is done by the mayor, and obviously we, the council, will confirm. The judge came before us, and yes, there was a lot of questions that we asked. And I'm not gonna go back and forth on, you know, my vice president, you know, had his reservations, and that's to be respected, because we can agree to disagree on certain issues, but at the same time, be respectful, and I have to respect his position. I don't think anyone here, if I was a judge and I put you in jail or I took away your license, you're going to have something nice to say about me. I am, though, my belief is, and when I spoke to him directly, I said that I hope that he is a just judge, okay, a compassionate person as well. The city of Paterson is an interesting city, and we are unlike any other. And he served 17 years, well, 16 and a half years in Passaic, 13 of which he was a chief judge. And his removal was because a new administration came on, and that was the right of that mayor to decide to remove him or keep him. His plan is to become a Patersonian. He's actually already, if confirmed, moving, and so I want to give him the opportunity. But you best believe that I will be on the lookout. And again, there's lots of complaints on our behalf as well, so that's just life, all right? So I just want to give him the support at this time, and hopefully the mayor will continue to choose his cabinet in the best way he can. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you. The vote is 7 in favor, 1 against, 1 absent. Item number 30 is hereby adopted.
Very well. Council members, it is my understanding, Mr. BA did send an email earlier removing item number 27.
That is
So
correct,
we
Madam
will be-
President.
We will be removing item number 27. Madam Clerk, at this time, I'd like to open the public portion. Actually, before I open the public portion, Councilman Rivera, payment of bills? Phyllis, if you can please pull the list. Oh, you have it already. Very good.
Payment of bills for May 28, 2019. We had payments totaling $1,047,919.28. There was no payroll at this time.
Okay, I have a motion for payment of bills by Councilman Rivera, second by Councilwoman Mims and Councilman, did you? Roll call, Madam Clerk, on payment of bills.
Yes, Madam President. Roll call and payment of bills in the amount $1,047,919.28. Councilman Abdelaziz?
Yes.
Councilman Jackson?
Yes.
Councilman Khalid?
Yes.
Councilman McCoy?
Yes.
Councilman Mims?
Yes.
Councilman Rivera?
Yes.
Councilman Velez?
Yes.
Madam President?
Yes.
The vote is 8 in favor, 1 absent. Payment of bills is hereby adopted.
Actually, I was asked if I can take item number 31 before we open the public portion. Madam Clerk, can you please read into the record item number 31
Yes, Madam President.
on the non-consent?
Next item is item number 31 in the non-consent agenda. Item number 31 reads, Resolution authorizing second contract extension with Professional Consulting, Inc. for a period up to 90 days for engineering services for the City of Paterson, RFP number 2018-07, Department of Public Works, Resolution 19322.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Abdelaziz, second by Councilwoman Mims. Roll call on item number...
Councilman Velez, I got a stronger voice there.
Moved by Councilman Abdelaziz, second by Councilwoman Mims and Councilman Velez. Roll call on item number 31, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Madam President. Roll call on item number 31. Councilman Abdelaziz?
Yes.
Councilman Jackson?
So just a quick educational series for the public. The last 10 and a half or so years, which I just recently found out, we've been paying an engineering firm $1 million a year, who sends one person to come to the city to represent the city, right? And it wasn't until I had a conversation with Councilman Rivera that I understood that this engineer doesn't work for the city, he's contracted, and his salary was $1 million a year, of which we can go through a whole series of blunders. Let's talk about the project right outside of Wendy's. We subbed out and hired another engineer to oversee a project who then just cost us an additional $2 million. There is no way I could support something like this. I said it before, it's nothing personal against the individual that works here, but this is how Paterson bleeds out. We talk about being responsible. There's a checks and balances process that's in place. The mistakes that the administration makes, the council's in place to catch those mistakes and vote in difference, holding them accountable. This is not accountability. We should have been, the moment I started screaming about this situation, we should have been hard on finding someone to replace him. We have a number of qualified engineers that's right from this city, but we seem to find people from every place else that put a price tag and a burden on our city that completely destroys our community. This is another huge mistake, and there's no way I can support this, not for one more moment. My vote is no.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Khalid? Yes. Councilman McCoy?
Not intending to rebuff the councilman's concern. This is an extension of a 90-day on a professional services contract. for an engineering services. It's more than just an individual. The engineering services that we engage in are more complicated and complex than just having one person with an engineering degree. There's specialty, there are specifications that are associated with that doesn't necessarily reside in one person. Not all engineers do the same thing. And so what you get by having a contract is an association with a company that can provide a particular expertise that you need at a given time. Again, this is a 90-day extension. It's not going to resolve the issue of going back, but it certainly will give us an opportunity to look at a way forward, how we want to address that, and move forward. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Mims?
So I mean, Councilman McCoy, you may have to switch seats. But I totally agree, but one thing I want to add is that this has been ongoing conversation. I'm not how long even before I got to the seat. But one of the things I want to commend the administration on is that we're now looking, or they already have a requisition out, which I think they've interviewed, and they're going to the point of who they will hire for this position. So I think we're moving in the right direction to ensure that we have engineers that not only are Patersonians or work close to Paterson, but the other part is that they can make sure that they put the residents in the city of Paterson first. And I think that's very important when you have that and they're here. So this is an extension of the contract until we hire the person, and then there has to be training and cross-training to ensure that there's no gaps in between. And so because of that, my vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Rivera?
Like it was previously stated, we can't just shut down the city. There's a lot of projects that are going on, and we're not at a point where we could do a hire. And even at that time, we have to have a hybrid. It's not just going to be an engineering house. We're going to have to have an engineering house and hire other engineers on a need basis. And that's key, need basis. When I started here, and I noticed that every year we give someone or an entity $1 million off the bat, I said, well, how do you come at that number? So we need to be mindful of the things that we need to do here as a city, and we need to be a little bit more responsible with our resources. There was other things that came up. We started questioning how, who was supervising the road projects. Sometimes we had questions about outstanding projects, and no one could provide any answers to us. So we're voting yes. It's a 3-month contract, but it's necessary at this point. My vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Velez?
Yes.
Madam President?
Yes.
The vote is 7 in favor, 1 against, 1 absent. Item number 31 is hereby adopted.
Okay, very well. Madam Clerk, the public portion is now open. I would ask, and please be mindful, how many speakers do we have?
10 speakers.
Okay, please be mindful that every speaker has a 3-minute limit. So I don't want to turn off your speakers, so please, we still have more business to do in the city of Paterson, but we definitely want to hear what you all have to say today. Madam Clerk, the first speaker?
Yes, Madam President. First speaker is Mr. Ernest Rucker. Please state your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Ernest Rucker, Paterson. Councilman Velez, I'm very proud of you on that last vote. You just said yes. Thank you. I'm here for a few reasons today. Our mayor promised us during this election that he would be transparent, he would bring jobs, he would work with the community. Well, we just got $130 to $140 million in tax credits for economic development. Let me repeat that, economic development. I don't see nothing in the mayor's vision that's bringing any revenues to this body or to this city. And plus, you see these people here? They're talking about jobs. Jobs. They're talking about feeding their families. I want to see economic development out of $140 million. I don't want to see another Joey Torres deal. Now, we all know what Joey did, but there's more secrecy in this administration at this point than I've seen in the last 50 years. Let me also say, I have fought with Alma Realty in the past. I now support the hotel and stadium because it brings money into the city. It brings 450 brick and mortar jobs. It brings 400 permanent jobs. Those are the projects that we're looking for. Those are the things we're looking for. I talk about prime time, where we were able to hire through the community, through Save the Village, 100 employees. This is what we're looking to see, jobs for Paterson residents. You know You know that I've been fighting about the resolution that says hire Paterson first. And what has this administration done? Go outside the city and bring in other people. Now, I believe a mayor should have his team. And I believe that a lot of this team is a great team. But when you sneak people in to work in Paterson and ignore Paterson residents, we're not tolerating that anymore. We want a project out of $140 million that's going to bring in revenue. I believe it's $1.5 million that's been offered by Alma. That's negotiable. What other project has the mayor put on the table that's revenue gathering? The stadium is not. We don't even own it. The Board of Education owns it. Do I want to see the stadium fixed? Of course I do. But I need ratables right now. Taxpayers need ratables. Renters need ratables so that rents don't go up. We need jobs in this city. Don't take that $140 million and waste it on projects that bring no ratables to this city. This governing body has a joint responsibility with the mayor. The mayor doesn't control everything. You're part of this process. When are we going to stop the games? Councilmen, councilwomen, we need projects that's going to bring ratables, there's going to be jobs in this city. I've been here a long time. I've never seen the games played through economic development. 1 second, Madam President. Through economic development like I've seen in the last 7-8 months. We need jobs in this city.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rucker. Madam Clerk, next speaker.
Yes, Madam President. Next speaker is Mr. Teague.
All right. Good evening, council members, to all of the Paterson residents watching. I had just a couple of things. I'll start off with the case of Jamika Lowry. I know you all haven't seen me here for a couple of weeks. That's because we've been working. This past weekend, something very, very amazing took place where the family came together. I can't get into too many details about it, but I can say, number one, that the Federal Bureau of Investigation is here. They're investigating this case rigorously. I can guarantee you that people are going to go to jail for it. People are going to lose their jobs. People are going to lose their seats. Remember that. People are going to lose their jobs and their seats. Those who say, oh, we can't do anything, when you ran, you said that you'll do pretty much anything that the community asks of you. And then when we came to you for help, you didn't want to do anything. We've noted that, and we're not going to let you forget it. We have clips of the video where you made statements, pictures, and everything, and we're going to be sure that next year and the years after, when the campaigns kick off for re-election, we will be there. And you guys know I'm a fierce campaigner. Might not win those seats, but I can sure throw a monkey wrench in any election. So we will do that. Second thing, I'll just be very honest with you. I am one of the spiritual advisors for a man in this city that is trying to bring some jobs here. There's so many things that said negative about him, but none of these people that speak negative about him have any idea of what they could do to bring jobs to the city. Mr. Florio is well prepared to employ Paterson people to work at his sites, to give them jobs, to feed their families. What part of that don't you understand? And the people who talk so much junk about him, they don't have $5 in their pocket. They don't have any money to do anything. So my thing is, if you don't like Mr. Florio, Let me see your $1 million. Let me see your money. Put your money on the table. If you have so much against what he does and you have so much against his properties, let's see your $1 million. Let me see where your properties are at. You either put up or you shut up. Plain and simple. I'm so sick of the politicians and people in this city putting that man down. Where's your money? This man is putting his own money on the table. He don't want to hire people from out of town. He has made it perfectly clear to me and passionately that he wants Paterson workers to work on his properties. That means children will get fed, they'll get clothes on their back, and when children are fed and when children have a good roof over their head, they can learn better. It's a whole cycle. We can't educate our children if they don't have a place to live, they don't have food to eat. So here's a group of people that you can't call lazy because they want to work. They don't want a handout. Nobody in this room wants a handout. Everybody in this room wants to work. They want a job. They don't want a handout. So you can't call them lazy, can't call them bums. They're here tonight. You say people need to work? Well, they're here. Time to give them a job. Mr. Florio's ready to do it. So let's let him do it. Point blank, let's let him do it. Alma Realty, whoever wants to come here and they have the money and they put it on the table and they're ready to do it, let them do it. So we can fix this situation with poverty in our city and bring our city to where it really needs to be. That's what we got to do. Enough talking, it's time to get to work.
Thank you very much, Mr. Teague. I am going to ask respectfully, don't get so close to the mic. I have my cameraman at the top saying, move back, because you're not going to, out there in TV world, right, in the cable, you're not going to be able to understand what you're saying. So please, if you want your message, we hear you here, but the people out there are not going to be able to understand you, okay? So please be mindful to not get so close to the microphone. Madam Clerk, next speaker, please.
Yes, Madam President. Next speaker is Ms. Kat Beloitis.
Who?
Kat
Okay.
Beloitis.
Welcome.
Hello. I'm much better at paying taxes and building things and hiring people than I am at speaking.
Oh my God.
So bear with me. It's been a while. I've traveled 10,000 miles and left my kids 10,000 miles away to come here because Paterson's very important to me. We've been in this city since 1999. A lot of people don't hear us. All developers are not the same. Charlie's a little flashier than me. But you know, he looks good, I look good, we're about the business. I have personally worked in Paterson for 7 years, on the ground, late night, sleeping on Church Street before those apartments were sexy, going to the steakhouse while it was empty, while we were trying to get people to come out, the beginning of what we thought was downtown revitalization. It didn't work out, and that's why we're here. We've invested in every ward, every single ward, not just through our projects in the mills, construction, commercial, warehouse, housing. We know what works now, and more importantly, we know what doesn't work. After all these years and all the millions of dollars invested, taxes paid, jobs created, this place has broken my heart and taken my heart, and I'm back again. But this is the last time I'm gonna come. This is it. I'm here personally to tell you, and some council people know, because they're older and been around a little longer, older on the council. We've been here a long time. And we've been gentlemen and ladies. We wanna invest in Paterson's downtown. We know we can do it. We've done our research. We have our professionals. And we know that the only thing that is really going to jumpstart this economy is mass employment. Housing alone does not work. Parking alone does not work. It is only mass employment. An arena, a hotel, and a parking project bringing over $90 million to Paterson, over 400 construction jobs, and over 400 permanent hospitality jobs in downtown is the only way that we are gonna get this engine going. I know, because we've been working at it for a long time. The lots that we're developing on don't pay taxes. I pay taxes. We pay taxes. So let me pay you taxes. Only a project that can welcome thousands of residents and visitors to live, work, and play downtown and bring their money with them will create hundreds of jobs. Small businesses will be supported. Tax revenue will increase. We can afford our teachers, our cops, our streetlights. I'm gonna continue because I pay a little bit more than just a little bit more. I want the opportunity to thank everybody who came here. Like, it really is very emotional to me because I always come alone. You hear me screaming in the streets by myself, and I appreciate it so much that everybody came out today. We believe in Paterson. We will make it work. The question shouldn't be, do you support this project? The question is, how do you support this project? How can we set up training programs for the hospitality jobs to go to our residents? How can we improve safety and the streetscape? How can we clean up the train station? How can we reactivate downtown's second floor so people can live downtown and the lights are on and it's safe? How can we bring international companies to Paterson to invest in jobs, training, and the community? We've been here, we will continue to be here, and we want your support. Thank you.
Council President. Council President. Council President.
We can't let the speaker speak first.
We have a lot of speakers.
Councilman
speaker does it.
Jackson, I'm gonna give you 3-minute limit too.
I can do it
Go
less
ahead,
than that.
Councilman.
Several years back, I was at a debate in this chambers, and I made a statement. And I talked about the mall, and in particularly the success or lack thereof of the mall. And I made a statement, I said that we have to understand our climate, because I've been in business in this city for quite a long time, and I talked about the consumer base. And I said that if the owners of the mall weren't so heavily endowed, the mall would have went under a long time ago. Since then, I had an opportunity, after that, I had an opportunity to meet Miss Cat. She read me the Hard Riot Act, because she is definitely a fierce fighter. And as the gentleman that I am, I didn't take any shots back at her. I just took my punishment. But they've shown such a commitment to the community, and I'm happy to see that she in fact agrees with me. Until the people of Paterson can afford to go out and spend on a $12 hamburger, cheeseburger, or buy filet mignon, or Kobe beef, because the vision was beyond Paterson at that point. Most people don't even know what Kobe beef is. But now we do. We must create avenues for Paterson people to be able to support these efforts. And in order for us to do that, we must support these type of projects. So I commend you for coming 10,000 miles. I take my hat off to you for leaving your children. I pray to God you didn't leave them with your husband, because I'm sure that's a big, I'm sure. But you have my full support, and I understand the difficulties and the challenges of business, and we, the community, need to rally behind this project. We have a developer that has taken money out of their pocket, come into our community, and spent hundreds of millions of dollars on something that we all need to support, not just from the standpoint of administratively and on the council, but even as consumers. I was there over the weekend, the batting cage was empty, but we have dozens of teams that take their kids out to Lefties or someplace else out of town. We have to understand that if we want things in our community to thrive and survive, we must support it, but we must first provide the opportunity and the employment for people to be able to support these things. So thank you, Council President, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Councilman Kalik?
Actually, I have a question for Ms. Cat. I believe I met you once before, probably. I seen this project before. came in front of some board or something. I mean, what's stopping you from doing this project? Why are you?
We've been
Why are you
designing
here?
and discussing this project for about 3 years. Market studies, financial analysis, it's a difficult fit, design-wise. You know, I'm putting big thing in the middle of downtown. So we've done our due diligence, and we have partners. The parking authority is our landlord, and the city of Paterson has a mayor that is required and suggested to give a letter of support. So we've designed for it. I've presented it to council people over the last 2-3 years. I've asked for feedback. Do you like the design? Do you like the use? What do you think? How can we do it? Because we're an open book. I knock on your doors. I come to your businesses. That's who I am. This is not my natural state over here. I'm on the ground, and I need it to be a success. And for it to be a success, we all need to support it because it's for all of us. It's not mine, and it's not yours. It's all of ours. So I've been really trying to get the support. I thought I had the support, but time is ticking. There's 4 weeks left, and I need a letter of support from the city.
Council President?
Council President.
Councilman Abdelaziz, then Councilman Velez.
Thank you, Council President. I just
Councilwoman
want to
Mims.
put this on the record and let the public and the people in the audience understand with this letter of support. Mr. BA, the way the tax credits work here, does the letter need to come from the mayor or the city council?
From the mayor, Councilman.
From the mayor. So I just want to I'm not saying anything about the project that comes forward. All these suggestions, all these people that are here for this project should be here tomorrow morning at the mayor's office. The council does not support this tax credit. I'm a sports guy. I love the arena, but your application needs support from the mayor. And I just want everyone to know we're all here today, and I appreciate this. This is awesome to see it. But this can't stop here for the advocacy, because I think there's a misconception. It's not only from you. People come to us for things, and we know there's other items that may come in front of the council, but when it comes to these letters of support, that application strictly says it's the mayor that needs that letter. So I just
That's
want
the
the public
physical-
to know,
Yep.
and this advocacy that's going on needs to go downstairs and let the administration know where the people stand on this, and let them hear your
I need
voices.
a physical letter out of the mayor's office, but I want the council support. I want a resolution. I want a statement of your support. We are talking about $100 million into downtown. A letter doesn't mean anything at the end of the day, because I'm the one who's bringing the money. So I need to know.
Okay.
I have shirts. I brought you guys T-shirts. I want to know that every ward and every council person is accountable to their residents and constituents. That for once, we need to stand together and deliver. Not on an election and not on a seat. We need to deliver to everybody in here. And I can do my job. So support me and let me do my job.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kat. Kat, no more rebuttaling, but I am going to say this, and I understand what Councilman Abdelaziz was saying. He wanted everyone here to know that we can be supportive of it, but the way that the resolution is written, we've assigned a public entity who is the individual that, at the end of the day, will need support from the mayor to get the project to move forward. I don't know why the mayor, as of right now, has not embraced this. The mayor is fully aware of this project from way before when he was a councilman. So, but we're not going to go there right now. You know, that is something that the mayor will decide. I don't think that he has disregarded it fully. I think Mr. Bia can say that. I know that he has made some comments that there's some monies, but again, we're not going to go into that right now. But do know that in order for Alma to receive those tax credits, the letter of support has to come specifically the way it's written from the mayor's office. The mayor has to be the one to write that letter in support, so that way, at the state level, they will be able to obtain those tax credits. Councilman Velez, then
Thank you.
Councilwoman Mims.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to say this. I saw this project when the original project of the hotel failed. You guys came in and came in front of the boards, presented with Parking Authority. I was sitting as a representative of the council in that moment, and I saw the project. One thing I gotta say, and probably I gotta sound like tough on this, but I don't need to write a letter. You have my support for now. And let me tell you something. If the mayor has to make his decision or consideration into this letter, I'm sending a strong message now. Give this project to a local developer. If you come in here with an outsider, I'm not going to support nothing from outside. I will support anything that comes from Paterson and stays in Paterson. That's my vote.
Velez, Councilwoman Mims.
Well, Ms. Cat, I want to thank you for coming. And I always commend our developers that pay taxes.
Correct.
Right? I'm a new councilwoman, but the tax abatements and some of these pilots are killing the homeowner base. We have approximately 22,000, a little over, homeowners that pay for the bulk of almost 150,000 people in the city. And until ratables come into the city, until we're receiving tax money from developers like yourself, the homeowners are gonna continue to foot the bill for the entire city. And it's not fair to homeowners. You drive down some blocks, there's abandoned properties, our seniors can barely live here, and we're on transitional aid. We've been on it for years, and there's a requirement that we have to increase the percentage. So I applaud you for coming. I'm not sure why there's not the support, but I am gonna turn to our BA just to, I'm sure the mayor will get this message from his team, but I would like to recommend that we get an understanding as a council what is going on with their letter. Why is there a delay? Did they apply? What happened? Because I think it will, bring some clarity. I'm not sure if the mayor has reached out to Ms. Cat to find out what's going on, or if there's a delay, what is the concern? But I think just from an administrative perspective, we have to make sure that when we have business owners or developers that are already here, that we make sure that we continue to be good neighbors with them. So just my recommendation to the administration, that whatever the miscommunication or whatever the delay, we have only about 30 days left, that we have to seal whatever deal it is. And we need to make sure that if it needs to be a callback, a conference, a meeting, or whatever needs to be done, but I think we need to do that like ASAP.
So, Dr. Mims, I'll say this. I won't get into too
Mr.
many details
VA.
because I think it's a little unfair at this point to talk about the details because it is an active solicitation and procurement, so I don't want to do that. But yes, there was a process for everybody who was interested in receiving a part of the tax credits. I do understand that Alma did apply for some of the tax credits, and that process is ongoing. That's all I can say at this point. There have been communications going back and forth between Alma and others in our administration about those tax credits, and at the appropriate time, the appropriate decisions will be made, and we'll notify everybody who applied whether or not they got the tax credits.
Council President, very quickly, just a comment to you. With all due respect to our BA, but I mean, from what I understand, their application was the first one in. And furthermore, Council President, this message goes to you. I think that, it's time that you begin to take chapters out of
Roberts.
the Assembly, Senator Sweeney's book. This council carries a large amount of weight. We're often now saying, oh, it's not us. We move a resolution, and if the administration decides that it wants to disregard the council's concerns, then when the mayor needs something passed, this council has the authority not to move on those items. This is a give and take scenario here. The council has to hold hard to its authority. And when we understand that there's going to be ramifications that affect our communities, that means the people that depend on us to support the things that's beneficial to them, we have to hold hard to them. And this is a moment. It's a moment in time for you, Council President, to stand hard on certain things. Nothing makes the agenda without your consent. You're the person, you're the driver behind this thing right now, and you make the decisions that now move the city forward. Alongside, this is not just the mayor driving the city in a direction that he, God forbid, wherever we wind up, the council's at full, has the, not only the authority, but the responsibility. We can no longer sit on the side and say, well, hey, that's the mayor. No, we have equal role to play in this. The council has to stand hard. If this is something that everybody is resonating, that we think it should happen, then the council needs to stand together and make a decision and hold the mayor accountable to what we believe is best for our community. We can't just sit here and ride the pony, and then when the blame comes around, say, oh, well, it's the mayor, go see him on the second floor. We all bear the burden of responsibility. Decisions that we make collectively here affect this community just as much as the administration. So I'm gonna put that back on your shoulders, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman. You all are witness that my vice president said to take a page out of Sweeney's book. Do you all know who Sweeney is? Okay.
Council President.
We will move forward, Councilman, and I say this not jokingly, that is in the works, and I believe that as a council as a whole, if we have the support, we can do this. And we will do it, okay? Councilman Rivera, and then I'm going to ask for the next speaker. Please. Councilman Rivera.
So I understand, Councilman Abdelaziz basically made it clear that we have not been part of the process to choose any of the projects. But what's disturbing is, as a council, I think we would have had, the administration would have had the courtesy at least
To ask.
to not just to ask, to tell us what all these plans are all about, what ratables, they're gonna bring to the table. And to be honest, Council President, the only project that I'm somehow familiar with is the project from downtown, because I often came with Ernie Rucker and everybody else to this council meeting to watch the meetings. And we often spoke about how disturbing it is that the third largest city in the state of New Jersey doesn't have a hotel.
Right.
How it would have been advantageous when it comes to generating revenues. We would generate a hotel occupancy fee if we had a hotel here. I remember even when St. Joe's was proposing to have that hotel, we were all for it at the time, but it never came through. It is now 2019, we still don't have a hotel. As finance chair, I'm always concerned about ratables, right? And additional revenues that come in. And at the same time, putting the administration in a good financial situation to provide the services that are not being provided at this time. And I don't have to get into details because we all know what the shortfalls are at this city. I know, we're not supposed to act on emotion or anything like that, but we, just as a symbol, we have the authority as a council to just put a motion on the floor to show support for an individual project. And if we decide to go that route, we shouldn't blame anyone that's here in attendance. We should blame the mayor for not, for not keeping us in the loop of what is going on. There are some projects going on right now. We have a lot of questions, and we still haven't been provided any answers. The only reason we're even discussing some of them is because we need to enter into an agreement with the school district, which I think is very disrespectful. As a council, we need to be included in the things that are being done in the city. Even if the law doesn't require it, we're supposed to be transparent. What is interesting is council members here often complain all the time about past administration not including them in their plans. But it is amazing that once you get into that seat, the same thing continues. It's just very disappointing. Finance chair and again, a lot of colleagues here that have a lot of experience, we haven't seen the actual courtesy from the mayor to say, listen, let's have a sit down. This is what we're working on with the parking authority to bring to the city. This is how much rateable it's gonna generate. You know, we need to have a vision. And right now, I'm questioning, you know, some of these projects because I don't know much about them. The only one that I'm familiar with is this one, and it's a shame. So, you know, I wouldn't mind entertaining. I don't like to act on emotion, but I would like to entertain a motion to give support from the council, you know, for this project.
So
And
move it. Second.
Councilman Rivera,
Second.
and I would definitely entertain that motion to be put on the floor, and if the council as a whole supports it, I would move forward to have our corporation council prepare a resolution to support, that the council supports this project. I can actually say that I want to support a project that's going to bring in jobs into the city of Paterson, all right? And with other projects that right now it's the talk, I have yet to see how many jobs. I heard maybe 80 apartments, but I don't know how that is, how many jobs that's going to produce. And so I hear someone has a number of 7, but with that said, I'm not in full support of that project, only because I don't know enough about it and I have a lot of questions about it. But definitely, again, Councilman
President.
Rivera, I would definitely support on the floor the motion,
Move.
and I guess I got a second from Councilman Jackson and
President.
Councilman
Coun-
Velez.
Council President,
Go ahead.
discussion, if you're entertaining a motion.
Councilman Abdelaziz.
I've spoken to the developer on this project. We're asking for the council to vote on a project that I did not see. I'm not saying I don't support it, but I did not see prints. I did not see that the only discussion I had is a verbal discussion. I would recommend not putting us on the floor and asking us to vote for something that I was not privy to the
Councilman,
information.
1 minute,
Uh,
Cap.
you
One
could
minute,
go with your
1 minute,
motion.
1 minute.
We can
Council-
wait for the next meeting, and I will gladly sit.
Councilman Abdelaziz, just so because you're saying something here that we're gonna vote on a project. That's not what Councilman Rivera was saying. That is not what he said. He didn't say we're
what's the
voting on the
motion?
project.
we
He
need to
said
know
he
the
wanted to
motion.
put actually, I don't need to speak for you.
Our vote is actually symbolic, right? It doesn't hold any grounds when it comes to the tax credit. Basically, what it is, do you want a hotel in downtown Paterson? Do you want a project that's gonna generate
400 jobs.
additional ratables, right? Do you want a project that's gonna generate how many jobs?
400.
400 construction and 400 permanent.
Do you want a project that's gonna bring a hotel to the third largest city, a
So
stadium
what is it?
of 12,000 seating?
Arena.
Again, it doesn't hold anything, right? It's just symbolic to say that that's, the council wants this project or is approve of a project of such in the downtown area.
we're
That's
not
what it is.
talking-
President, can I just share something in order?
Mr. BA.
Sure. I think that this council will be setting a dangerous precedent to prematurely entertain such a resolution when it's an active solicitation right now that's currently undergoing. So you can do what you want, but I think that sends the wrong message and would set a very dangerous precedent for you to pass such a resolution before any decision regarding the dissemination of tax credits is made. So I just think,
Counsel?
as a point of order, I'm not making the decision one way or another, but as the administrator for the city, I think this would be a very unusual step in a very current and active solicitation process.
Council President?
To show,
Wait,
to show an active,
One
to
minute,
show a-
please. 1 minute, please. I'm gonna
Council
allow you
President.
to speak. I know you're gonna go Councilman Rivera and then Councilman Jackson.
So, I understand what you're saying, Mr. BA, and you're not wrong about what you're saying. But we have the same scenario with the lease agreement from the district. We haven't gotten it. We just got the agreement today.
A draft.
We haven't even discussed it. Well, we haven't even discussed it. We've been rushed through this whole project, this whole process, right? You have going back to back meetings. Let me say, you have a planning meeting a day. Actually, you have the planning meeting set up before the city council approved the agreement, and the day before, the agreement is supposed to be approved by the school district. We don't know anything about it. We don't know what it's gonna generate. we haven't, no one has sat down with us and give us details of other questions. And again, we did say in finance that we were gonna have follow-up questions, but we're rushing this whole process too. And all I ask is that we at least, the administration at least has some courtesy to keep us on the loop, because the public here, the residents that pay taxes, they have questions for us. And the press that is here, the reporters that is here, they know how I get when I get a phone call from them, and I don't know what they're talking about, because the first time I hear of it is when they call me. So it's very disturbing. We were elected to serve the people and to make decisions on their behalf, and we're being disrespected.
So, Councilman, so what I want to say to you is this. We as a body, if there's one thing we can control, we have to vote on that lease agreement. So we have the up or down. So council members, please be aware. So just like you're saying, okay, if we don't agree with that lease agreement, that project doesn't move forward, point blank. So let us move forward. We have a few more, and I believe we have 6 more speakers, so why don't we move forward, okay?
You got a motion.
I can help you.
I'm sorry?
No, you can't remove
Free.
it. You cannot remove the motion.
Okay, so
Council
1
President.
minute. Councilman Jackson.
I just, for a point of clarity, because the BA is calling for a point of order, but this council, I didn't hear anyone say that this is the project that we're demanding the mayor to fulfill.
Right.
What we're saying is not to render a letter of support when this project is in a position to at least be heard. Without the letter of support, the project is dead. So we're not saying that the administration or the council should make a decision. Obviously, everything has a necessity for its due diligence. There's a vetting process. But if, without the letter of support, this project dies, it doesn't move forward. So they're, in fact, leading this council, to at least me, I'll speak for myself, to believe that the administration is looking to overstep this project for another, creating a position of an unfair playing field. If we're gonna look at it from a perspective of we wanna present each project and see which each project, their benefits, the pros and cons, we have to at least allow them to be able to come to the table, to be presented, and without the letter of support, which they were the first to put the application in, so just the notion of not offering or rendering a letter of support speaks volumes from the mayor.
Councilman Jackson, I respect what you're saying, and I think a lot of the things that you said are not accurate in terms of the timetable and the first to submit. I don't want to get into those details right now. We can deal with that either through the Economic Development Committee or through the committee as a whole. So I think it's unfair to Alma and me and you and the administration to kind of go into the details and the timeline of what happened when. So at this point, I'll just stop there, and at the appropriate time, as Council President said,
Okay.
you can vote it up or down.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
so I'm gonna continue to support.
Correct.
There's a motion on the floor by Councilman
I'm sorry, Council
Rivera, and
President.
there is a,
I'm sorry, but I have to be heard before you,
okay.
before you call this motion. I know there's been a lot of things already said, but I want it to come from your attorney.
Okay.
My first concern about this motion is whether or not any of you can stand and prove to say that you've seen the things necessary to make this type of motion to support this project. And I say that not whether the project is good or not, but this symbol could later be used to say that this project was selected if the mayor chose to render a letter of support due to politics. So this good gesture could actually impede what it appears the people here are looking for. So I understand the council's will, but from a legal perspective, involving this level of political or usage of your political authority will not be seen if other people who are looking for these tax credits argue against. It will not be used favorably. It will be used to say that this was done for politics purely, and that is the reason why those things are done in the process that they are, that mayors issues letters of support, but ultimately the EDA makes those determinations to try to avoid that. And I'm sure you've all heard about everything going on in Camden. When politics get involved, even if it's for the betterment of the community, people start having issues. So I want to make that known. And I think that's the most important part. But the second thing that I don't want us to forget is our own rules, which does not allow us to put anything on the floor that wasn't advertised unless done so by consent of all the council members, unanimous consent.
So, Council President, can I ask a question to Corporate Counsel? About her statement?
Understood. Kat, this will be the last statement,
Last thing.
please.
Last thing. My project was submitted with 6 others in July of 2018 by this administration as required by the amendment made by the governor. So, I can understand the objections, although not good ones, and at the end of the day, the letter's not coming from you, so you have no obligation to do anything, and you can't be held responsible. You only come when it's time to pay the bills, unfortunately. You can move to support the original 6 projects as presented to the state.
I don't even know this.
Thank
If
you.
you're interested, thank you.
Thank you.
There was a technical question I wanted.
Council President?
At this time, Councilman Rivera, okay, I'm going to put a hold right now on that motion.
That's why I was going to ask
Councilman
to you.
Rivera? Councilman Rivera? I am going to put a hold, meaning like right now. I'd like to hear the other speakers, all right? And then we'll move forward. I think we are within our authority. Okay.
So can I ask a question to Corporate Counsel?
All right, let the record reflect that both councilmen are fasting and they're getting ready to break their fast. Go ahead. Okay.
Quick.
Councilman, can we proceed, please? And then we'll go back, please. I really
Yes,
would
let's do
like-
that, but just remind, when you come back with this question, just quick, if that's not violating the freedom of speech that I have on this council and the people wants, if we want to express ourselves what we want or what we don't want, if that don't violate freedom of speech and we want to put it in paper what we want to see or what we don't want to see regarding the administration takes their position, because we want to express ourselves in a letter, the people expressing themselves,
I
they
know.
cannot write a letter.
Councilman?
So, you know, I just want to ask
Councilman,
that.
duly noted, Councilman. Madam Clerk, next speaker, please.
Yes, Madam President. Next speaker is Mr. Lynch.
You go, girl. Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, I'm coming with my problem, not the workers' problem, my problem. Madam President, I have a problem in my community with 3 auto part cars down there. I have 3 of them. I have 1 on Governor Street. I have 2 on Tyler Street. Plus, I have a tire place which caught a fire last Friday on Tyler Street. The problem we are having down there, we have nowhere to park. When the hell have you heard of a mechanic got 9 cars and he's still fixing cars? He parking them on the street. He parking, and I'm coming with evidence. I'm coming with evidence. And all we asking, something be done about this. Friday, it was emergency wagon coming up Tyler Street, which they couldn't get through because the people had to back trucks up the street out of the way so the emergency wagon could get through. This is the problem in that neighborhood. And I have pictures. We took pictures. They have cars down there with no license plates. They have cars in the handicap crosswalk. They have cars on the sidewalk. And what I understand, that they are paying the garbage company to pick up their garbage. Now, here's the garbage I took last Tuesday. The same garbage is still sitting there. Same garbage is still sitting there. Not only they had a car, they had a boat. They had a boat sitting on the sidewalk. Then Monday night, they brought in these things you ride on the water. They brought them in. So we want to know, who are these peoples? Where the hell did they come from, for one thing? That's what we want to know. And why can't something be done about it? The inspectors came, the inspectors was there, but nothing changed. Inspector can't sleep there, nothing changed. So if you want to look at these pictures, I
Please
have
give
them,
them
but I
to-
want them back, because these going to be my evidence. And I have spoke about the trucks. Now, here's my concern. Mr. Spiegel said The reason the truck was coming because they was doing construction work. They not doing nothing down there, nothing. But what I'm saying to the city, you guys is paying Roselle, so you can tell him to stop bringing his garbage truck through that neighborhood at 5:30 in the morning. First it started with one. Now you got 5 or 6 coming through there every morning. You guys hired him. You guys have the right to tell him what to do. So that's what we are looking for. And about these trucks, if they can't be stopped, we're gonna start standing in the street and back traffic. We don't care where the hell it go. We're gonna stop them. It's gonna be stopped one way or another. This is what I'm asking you, and this is what I'm asking the city to do. Do something, not tomorrow, do something right now.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Madam President. Next speaker is Vladimir, Vladimir?
Valdemir?
Yeah.
Vladimir.
Valdemir?
What's the
Next
last
speaker, Madam Clerk.
Liz Cruz?
Liz Cruz.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good afternoon. My name is Elizabeth Cruz. and
Lower
I'm-
it, please. Lower it. There you go.
My name is Elizabeth Cruz, and I was born and raised in Paterson. I have been working with Alma Realty for over 8 years on both residential and commercial. I began working with Alma Realty at the age of 18 at the Center City Mall's information booth, while obtaining my GED at NJCDC. Throughout the years, I've worked my way up the ladder within Alma Realty and was promoted and moved into the office, and now I supervise 16 employees, 14 of which are Patersonian. I work, live, and study in my hometown. I am currently seeking my associates in business administration at Passaic County Community College and expect to graduate this December. The arena and the hotel project will provide hundreds of new jobs, which will give my classmates the same opportunity to live, work, and play here. I continue to take advantage of the opportunities created by Alma Realty and look forward to their continued investments, which I know firsthand will benefit our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, next speaker.
Yes, ma'am. Next speaker is Mr. Sosa.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Henry Sosa, Robert Street, 6th Ward. I have my prepared remarks tonight, but listening to what's going on tonight, I think I can just scrap those and just speak from the heart. Okay, first things first, I'm here in full support to lend my voice and my support for the arena and the hotel proposed by Alma Realty in downtown, and also in support of the commitment that Charles Floria has done to this city by employing nothing but Patersonians. What you see right here are the faces of Patersonians who have real jobs. Okay? These are living wages of people who were unemployed at a specific time, and right now, because of developers, local developers like Alma Realty and Primetime Realty, not only are these people employed, but they're able to now, some of them, own their own homes or learn a trade where they can actually fix their own home. So kudos to both of you guys. Another thing that I want to talk about, and Madam President, when we started to organize this meeting, okay, what I really wanted to do was actually filibuster the meeting and keep you guys until 4 a.m. But figures, you know what, we're going to limit the amount of people speaking, so we've limited to just under 10 people speaking, because I understand that you guys have a large agenda, and we don't want to do that. But next time that we come back, because we are coming back, okay, we are going to take no hostages. This is another thing that I wanted to talk about, and this is piggybacking on some of the things that Councilman Jackson talked about. You guys are two co-equal branches of government. And time after time after time, you guys allowed for the administration to give you what? Semantics. That's all it is.
Push back,
It's
please.
all semantics. Okay? They're telling you don't use politics. Well, guess what? All of those bodies from the state are nothing but politicians. That politicians tell them what to do and what not to do. You have to use the body for which you got elected for and enforce that. You shouldn't tell anybody from Trenton to tell you what you need to do or you don't need to do. Or guess what? Tell Governor Murphy to come here and legislate himself. They are the people. And you guys, all of you guys, should be listening to us, not to those damn Trenton politicians, not to your friends. Because guess what? We know about the backroom deals. We know about the backroom meetings. If they haven't gotten a letter of support, it's because the mayor intends not to give them any. So, I'm going to start with the Bill of Rights, right? We the people. We the people. And now I'm going to end with a part of the Constitution that empowers me, to do what you guys don't want to do. Two co-equal branches of government. Okay? Under the form of government that you guys are governed by. I have the power to grab my 5 people and create a committee. To grab 300 people that are here and go out and get signatures. And wrap this Hinchliffe program development, wrap it in legislation through a referendum. I am prepared to come back in 2 weeks with 5,000 signatures if we don't get a letter of support for this project. If not, I'm going to tie it up in a referendum, and neither project is going anywhere. Thank you.
Councilman Jackson?
You're leaving?
Okay.
We don't have a quorum.
Ming, we're gonna take a 5-minute recess. Madam Clerk, 5 minutes, sorry.
Yes, Madam President.
5 minutes.